I walked in, he said, "Here's your desk. Here's a pile of computer parts. Feel free to put yourself together a workstation."
Nice.
Okay. So, and in the back they had a whole shelf of random computer parts and stuff, right? So, he said, "Do you mind?" And this was in the interview actually. He said, "Do you mind learning SQL Server?" I had no idea. I'd never even heard of SQL Server. I thought it was an actual.
Right on top of that.
That was an actual physical server, right? And I was like, "Sure, never heard of it." So my first day, he said, "Here's your computer," and then he has the SQL self-paced training kit, right? And boom, here's this, here's IIS, here's NT, just bam, just stacking up training kits. We've only got 2 customers right now, so feel free to study, right? So I was opening those books up and studying every day, and figured I needed some stuff, so I went in the back and put together 4 other machines. What?
Oh, I'm you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And I remember when the light came on.
That's what I was talking about, yeah.
When the light came on, I opened up that training kit, and it was like, SQL Server is a database. Oh! It's a database, all right.
That kind of narrows down the field.
Yeah, so I had no idea what it was, right? And so, I know I said I was going to give the really short version, so I'll start to condense this a lot.
Yeah.
So anyway, for the next several months, I took like 1 call a week, and it was usually pretty easy. And because most of it was SQL related anyway, because the product was actually pretty stable. I mean, the guys that wrote this product, I mean, Tom was one of them, right?
Yeah.
Were just, I mean, these guys were good, right? So most of the problems ended up being with SQL itself.
Stupid monkey.
So basically, I was paid 8-9 hours a day to sit there and learn SQL and IIS and NT, and I had all these boxes lined up under my desk, and every day I would wipe one of them clean, bring up NT on it, bring up SQL on it, load it with data, and just practice that stuff again and again and again. And a lot of the problems I ended up having with things were when we got new customers, they would have problems loading their data. So like for the first year and a half I was in databases, I was almost solely on BCP, right? I mean, I mean, that's what I did, and troubleshooting BCP loads and stuff.
And you got a couple of videos on BCP now, even.
Well, it's really one of the best things that ever could have happened to me, because, I mean, those good, solid basics of troubleshooting, and I had a couple guys there that really knew what they were doing in computers, and they taught me a lot of the basics. Tom, I was really lucky. Tom actually took the time to just teach me the basics. Here's what, I mean, even stuff like auto-exec that is, and here's how this works, and here's how that works.
A good mentor is just worth more than his
which is why I'm so big on mentoring now, right?
Yeah.
Because you can do books and videos, and you can do, tech ed and whatnot, but there's no substitute for having somebody there day in and day out saying, now when you do this, make sure you look for this, or, guiding your actual efforts. I mean, there's a big difference, right?
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Okay, condense.
So when I left there, they got bought out. So when I left there, I was looking at other help desk gigs, but I happened to run across some DBA positions, and I was like, you know what? What the hell? I'll go for a DBA gig, right? I've been working with SQL for a year and a half now. Why not? And I got the job, and that was my first DBA gig, and it's like.
And the rest.
And I just stumbled into databases. It could have been anything.
Most people do. I mean, there are a couple that are like, yeah, I worked really hard.
Yeah, well, I did work really hard, but I stumbled into being a DBA because my goal was actually to be I was landing more on the MCSE networking side in my mind, right?
Yeah. But
it landed, more as a DBA, and
that's creepy, dude.
And really, I say it was a complete accident that I ended up as a DBA, but when I think about it, I always intrinsically knew that data wasn't going away, and data was only going to get more and more and more. I mean, I don't take this the way it's going to come off, but it's a simple fact. I've always had a pretty decent way of projecting into the future and seeing the outcomes of things, and being a really good, what am I trying to say, good long-term picture kind of guy.
Yeah, sure.
So, but I've always had a pretty good eye for the long term, for the long picture of things, broad scope sort of stuff. So,
you're talking about being very long and broad.
Yeah, being long and broad.
Looking at things that are long and broad.
Yes. So, So anyway, that's really how it happened. But I always knew that data wasn't going away, and I guess I just chose to make the leap based off of that. Not that Windows or networks are going away either, but something about data just always kind of resonated with me, especially after I got a little mentoring and learned the basics.
Mm.
Okay, try to make yours shorter than that because I suck.
I was raised by Oracle savages, and I managed to escape when I was 14, and that's about it. No. I got at my house, computer nerddom was a trend set by my dad way back when he was an accountant, and then much more so my brother. I kind of have my big brother to thank for always just having computers around and being interested in them. And back in the days before the internet, he got me on the bulletin boards and was like, here's the thing, and he would buy me computer games sometimes for Christmas and things. And so,
Leisure Suit Larry.
No. If you must know, Alice in Wonderland and Below the Root. Good games, fun games, text games.
She said
No. Those were early graphics. Anyway.
Don't care.
Yeah, no, they were early graphics games. Some people care. They were awesome.
Early graphics. 3 dots.
Well, you should see some screenshots from these. They are really impressively just
bad.
They're like die cut black and white, nothing. But
Let's see.
But yeah, they were great. They were great games. And let's see, in high school they had programming 1 and 2, and I took both of them. I was in the 4-person computer club. We actually went camping. I mean, okay, too much. I'm condensing. Sorry, it's late. College computers. I actually got hired at FedEx for an internship. 1997, 6. And that was a summer internship, and then they just kept me on after that throughout college, and I had to do a little bit of everything.
So they didn't fix the glitch.
They didn't fix the glitch, no.
Let's see.
Internship, and I actually did a little bit of database work there, and I had no clue what I was doing. They just said, here you need to, here's some commands that you need to do.
That's okay, because they didn't either.
Here you need to insert this and update. And it was against an Oracle database and like a Unix framework, but had no idea what that was about. Honestly, I got into databases because of you.
Oh,
totally because of you. We have been friends since time out of mind, forever. And I said, "Well, Sean, it's been a while since we've spoken. How are you doing?" And you said, "I'm doing great." And
I'm richer than you.
I had a job in computers, and the job at FedEx was really going nowhere because there wasn't really any clearly defined. We want you to do this. We want you to be a programmer. You want to do. I was doing a little bit of web, a little programming, a little technical writing, a little bit of project management, and it's like you're not doing anything. So I latched onto that. I got paid to study for a while, and then I got hired first at Brinks and then at Microsoft. There was that little gig in between at Info Integration. That was sad.
Somebody ask us about Info Integration sometime.
Somebody do that. But in the
meantime, we're not going to get into it right now. But somebody ask us in the future because that is one hell of a story.
But yeah, it really did start with you saying you should study this and giving me some books on. I think they were Win2K, SQL 2K books. I don't think you actually. I think you had 6.5 books, and I don't think you gave me those.
So, okay, so
that's our story. It's not very interesting.
Yeah, well, I'm probably from the old days.
You're probably from the old days.
No, stop. I'm probably, from the old days,
Oh, I see.
Probably one of the least likely people you would have expected to get in computers, huh?
No, when I knew you years ago...
Because I was a chef.
You were a chef, you were a Kempo guy, you were traveling the world, we lost contact for a couple of years, I come back and you've got a kid and you've got...
Yeah, and I'm also the last person you would have expected that would have a kid, huh?
Yeah, well, just about. Seriously? You?
I'm talking about my tackle works.
I wasn't really going there, but
I heard you were a queer.
But no, that was really really impressive how much your life had changed and
I do that.
Yeah, you do that.
I heard that. Back to the other topic for 1 second because we've answered the questions now, right?
We should wrap up in a little bit.
Yeah. There's really something about when you're in a place and somebody comes up with an idea I've gotten this a lot. When you're trying to come up with ways to change a place for the better, and you guys think about this from the other end as well, right? Instead of naysaying and trying to find ways to make it fail, right? So it's like somebody comes to you and says, "I think we should start doing this," right? And you go, "Well, it's not a bad idea. It's actually a pretty decent idea, except for this, and except for that, and except for that, and except for that. It won't work because of this, this, and this." Instead of trying to find ways to make it fail, let's try to find ways to make it work. Because most of the ways that you come up with to make it fail are just ridiculous. Where you weren't here. Yeah, you weren't here. It was last night, I think, when I was talking to Jim about this. Okay?
Same big brother Jim that got me in computer.
Yeah. And so we were actually talking about my current gig. I was telling somebody I want to start doing something this way. And he's just naysaying. He's going, "Yeah, but that won't really work because of this." And kiddo over there, my 11-year-old, says, "And so what's wrong with communication? Why can't you just tell each other that you're doing this, and that way you won't step on each other's toes?" And I'm like, she's 11. She's 11, and boom, she hit it right on the head. Why can't we just say, we sit here, 1, 2, 3. Dude, I'm working on this ticket. Why does it have to be so hard, right? Why do you have to naysay? "Yeah, but you can't do this because, if you grab a ticket and I grab a ticket at the same time, then, we'll double up and everything." It's like, dude, really? We sit right there. "Hey, dude, I'm going to grab this ticket."
On the one hand,
it's kind of hard about that.
Stuart Ainsworth said this weekend at SQL Saturday that we become DBAs largely because we're problem solvers. I think part of being problem solvers is being problem seekers. You want to find that problem before it happens and figure out ways to shoot at it before it becomes an issue. But you can. This is the looking into the abyss problem. You're looking for problems so often, you see them everywhere. And if you've had a bad experience, you're not having a lot of success, then it's like you get beaten down and everything. An unspecified number of contracts ago, I was working with a fella that had a kind of reputation, and everyone was kind of, "Oh, you haven't met." Let's pick a name for him. Bob.
Bob.
Bob. Have you met the Bobs? Bob had a kind of reputation. Everyone would kind of look askance when something was mentioned. "Oh, Bob. Have you met Bob yet?" And I'm like, "What?" I'm expecting to see Mordak, the information preventer, right? I go and I meet him, and he's a nice enough guy, and I start talking to him and to the other guys about, okay, so cool. So what are you looking at doing here? And say, "Oh, well, we're having this problem and this problem." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I was talking to so and so about that, and we could do this, and we can implement this, and this is really easy, and I've already done the proof of concept. It's already done. We just need to put it in place, and we can do this." And he immediately starts, "Oh, that's never going to work. There's absolutely no way you could ever get this to work. There's no, that's just not going to work." Every single thing was, "This is not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Oh, I've tried that. It's not going to happen." And I was like, "Really? Okay." And, after enough of that, you eventually just stop talking, and then, let the negative sort of wash over you, and then you go away and you do whatever it is that you want to do.
Here you missed the spot.
But yeah, that amazing negativity, and everyone, there are degrees of it, but you get one of those that are really just like, "This cannot be done. No, it can't be done." It's difficult to deal with.
I'm going to end on a high note. All we have is this stupid accent.
Stupid accent.
We've got an application at work
language
that is a little less than desirable. Let's just say that, right? Written poorly, schemed poorly, and it's got one of your favorite things in it.
Goods. Clustered goods.
The table serves two different purposes. The table, different rows. Different rows in the table hold both order information and system config information. So instead of having a series of config tables, they just kind of married all of that in with the order information. It's like
you do.
Really?
It's like storing extra underwear in your towel pantry, in your linen closet.
So anyway, I thought you would like that, though. That was just for you.
That's actually one of the things I got to rant about in my code sins.
Yes. So anyway, so it dawned on me that applications tend to have these very hopeful marketing names.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And this is a fun topic for me, and I want to hear some from some of you guys, because some of these things could be pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So I think that it should be a rule that companies don't get to name their software. The software, it can only be like, you can have code names, right? But the software can only be named by your biggest client after it's been there for like a year, right? So like I've got a couple of these written down here on the set list because I think it's just funny.
I won't peek because I want to hear it.
So SQL 6.5 and below would probably have been named Microsoft Deadlock Server. Because I just love the sound of that, right? Microsoft Deadlock Server, right?
So that means like Windows 95 and under would be like Microsoft Blue Screen.
Yeah.
Microsoft Home Blue Screen, Microsoft Blue Screen Enterprise.
It's like IE6 would have been Microsoft Spyware Host. Right? What else do I have here? I've got one for you guys. Ozar, this is for you.
Ozar.
The earlier versions of Spotlight, before they started their enterprise version, right, would have been called Quest Load Generator.
Oh my god!
Because of the tremendous load it put on your server.
On it, though.
Well, yeah, but not if it's a diagnostic tool.
No, not so much. Spotlight was so pretty.
And then
really a pretty
product. Finally, probably one of my favorites other than Spyware Host is NT4. It would have been known as Microsoft Downtime Server.
I like that.
So
I do like that.
Guys, send me some of your favorites. Come up with some and send me some, because this is just a fun topic, right? What are some applications that you guys are having to support, and what would you have named them?
What would you have named them if you had your druthers?
Yeah. That's
marketing.
If
Truth in advertising.
Yes, if you weren't bound by the hopefulness of the marketing team at the company, right?
That's awesome.
So anyway, I wanted to end on that because that struck me while I was doing something with the schema in this thing, and I was just like, "Are you kidding me? This application ought to be called this," and I can't remember what I called it, but it was like, that's pretty funny. I was like, wait a minute. Let's expand that. Yeah, it just hit me. So, anyway, see it right there.
I think that deserves a hike too.
A hike too.
Okay.
So anyway, we don't have our chickens. I thought about bringing our chickens over, but
I thought about somebody commented that they really, really liked that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
In our other one.
Although I fear we're giving Sequel Chicken more. We're giving him more advertising in our show than we're even giving us.
It's our show. We don't need to advertise us.
And two,
this is the Midnight DBA web show.
We're definitely giving him more than he's giving us.
He's pimping us some. I think.
He?
Yeah, I'll have to ask him. But he was at a Sequel Saturday recently, and I think he pimped us some.
Okay, some.
Well, I've been talking to him much lately. I've been busy.
I've been busy. Too busy for you.
I'll leave you with this message from our sponsor, our daughter. Look at my big guns.
Ooh!
I love her. This was my
She's such a cutie.
Coming home
Some
present.
of her drawings are so creative, aren't they? I mean,
Yeah.
She really, really just draws random stuff. Remember when she did the little bird that was in love with the other bird, but the other bird didn't want to have anything to do with it, and it was like, but I'm a bird too. It's like, go away, but I'm a bird too. Why and she actually wrote the little thought bubble, but I'm a bird too.
I'm looking at these. She did.
I like the Ubi thing. That one's really funny.
That one's good. Well, we'll show off more of her art in the next session.
Yeah, I seriously got that.
Party on Wayne.
Party on Garth. Wait a minute. Oh my God.
No, we're retracting the party on what?
Oh my God.
What?
You're not allowed to reverse those.
Okay, keep on partying on while we're talking. What are we?
No, you're not allowed to reverse those. You can't start that. I have to go first.
You
can't.
No, that's what he always says.
I can't be Wayne.
You could be Wayne if you wanted to.
So anyway.
Go ahead.
Party on Wayne.
Party on Garth.
That's better.
You feel better now?
Yeah, I do.
It's got a sense of completion. You're so OCD.